Hello and welcome. I'm going to do a bit of a more of a freeform video. I haven't really thought through what I'm going to be talking about here. I'm going to be talking about guilds, but specifically what about guilds, I'm not sure yet. But I feel like I have some experience with MMOs. I've played WoW since vanilla, and I have played WildStar Guild Wars and been guild leader for several guilds that I consider successful. A lot of people were there, a lot of people were having fun. I want to share some opinions I have on guidance to finding a guild. So I'm gonna be using Notepad because I love Notepad. Notepad's amazing. Alright, so let's first cover creating your own guild. A lot of people are creating your guild. My first advice is don't. There's going to be a lot of guilds out there, and actually I would say it's much better to just find a guild and then climbing up to be higher up in that guild, unless you have something very specific you want to do with your guild. But usually you'll be able to find somebody with the same mindset as you, so yeah. I'd say don't create a guild, join one instead. But if you're completely set on making your own guild, here's some advice I have to you. My first advice is choose a second hand, somebody next to you that can tell you whenever you're being dumb, because you're gonna be dumb and you're gonna do dumb stuff. So you need somebody to tell you when you're being dumb, so you can stop being dumb. Um, and have a kind of a hierarchy, so other people below you who can tell you their opinions and stuff. A way that usually people are dumb is when they start changing the rules of their guild. In the middle of something, right? So what I think is the most important thing for any guild to do is be very clear about what you want to do with your guild. Be very clear with that and state that in the rules. If you're gonna be a PvE guild, I don't want you to be vague about what you're gonna do. I don't think that advertising your guild with "we plan on being the best" as a very good way of expressing your guild, but you can express yourself like we're going to be very serious about raiding and we're going to climb as high as we can as fast as possible. So we're going to choose people depending on how good they are, because that sets more of an expectation to everybody. If you just make everybody expect to be the best, then a lot of people will see that maybe you're third and they're like, you're not the best, and then they're going to get mad, drama's going to start, and people are going to fall out and they're going to be like, haha, advertising being the best when you're third, right? So I don't think that's a very good way. I think it's good to have some very clear things that you're going for, so when people join your guild, they know exactly what to expect. You're gonna avoid drama and all of that stuff. So yeah, the first thing I'd say is be very clear about what you want with your guild. The next thing that I want to say is if you're a PvE guild, this does apply to PvP too. I don't PvP much, so I don't know much about it, but you don't change your rules as a rule is being applied. So let's say that you're in a raid and your rules clearly state whenever something drops, everybody who needs it can roll on it, and then they roll, or anybody can just roll on this slash roll 1 out of 100, whoever rolls highest, and they get the item, right? That says that in the rules, and then you see a legendary drop or like a huge massive items. Don't change the rule there. Actually, don't. You should have set it up so you're ready for a legendary to drop. Don't suddenly just give it to somebody, unless like people are very clear in your guild that that's what you're gonna do, because somebody's gonna get mad and look forward to a legendary drop, maybe let's say two-handed sword drop, and you're the raid leader and you're like, I'm the raid leader, so I should have that. That guy's gonna get very mad. I think it's very important you set rules beforehand. So don't change the rules as a rule is being applied. It is gonna create drama like 90% of the time. How would I compare it? I would say I would probably compare it to, let's say you're in a tournament, and and somebody has been playing by some rules, right? And then somebody does something because it doesn't state in the rules what you do with that, and you just change the rules and punish him, and you're like, you can't do that because you said it in the beforehand. People are gonna be mad, and they don't want to be in that tournament if you change the rules. It's the same way when you raid. People come in with the expectations that you set with your rules, so don't change them at all during a raid. You see what happens, you land something that you probably didn't like happen, and then you address it afterwards and say, we're going to change the rules so this doesn't happen again. But that's the cleanest way to get out of situations like that. What else can we talk about? Yeah, I feel like that's the best things. Is be very clear about your rules and be very clear about what you want with your guild and what you advertise your guild to do. It's very important to, yeah, we can summarize it. We can say actually that's a good summary here. So we say choose someone to tell you when you're done. So that's my top 3 things I'd say to do when you're a guild leader. Figure out what you want to do with the guild. Be very clear with everybody what you want to do with the guild. And don't make any vague goals, because when you're vague, people can interpret it differently, and when people read your goals differently than you do, it's going to be create drama because they come in with another expectation of what you're going to give them. So manage people's expectations, most important thing. Fine. So let's talk about joining a guild. Oh no, actually, let's talk about creating a guild before the game's out. I am also gonna say, don't do that. Just don't. We have people who created guilds, and they are probably, I see Devalin has a guild, right? And that guild's most likely gonna prosper. But a lot of the people who are in the guild are gonna be swapped out. A lot of people will lose interest before the game comes out, right? Or just forget that they joined the guild altogether, because it's gonna be another 6 months before we see people see the game, right? Or a lot of people see the game, might have joined your guild and then forget they're in your guild altogether. So you won't even really know who's in your guild and who's not. And so I feel like it's kind of pointless to have a guild right now. It works for Devalin because his is not just a guild, it's a community. And the community is more based around his YouTube channel and stuff like that. And that way he keeps the whole community together with frequent uploads and stuff. Yes. So now let's talk joining a guild. Let's this is creating a guild, and let's do joining a guild. So when joining a guild, again, I'd say wait until the game comes out. You don't know how guilds are looking when they come out. Some people who made guilds the guild leader might even forget, just like everybody else. They have a guild or change their mind in the guild beforehand. There's no reason to get part of that drama. I'm personally waiting until I get in the game, and then I'm gonna see who's progressing at the same rate as me. I might be slow, I might be fast. I don't know how fast I'm gonna progress in the game. I hope I'm fast. I plan on being fast, but who knows? Some people might be twice as good as me, right? So when joining a guild, I'd say you should actually, the first thing I want you to do is go read the rules of that guild, their rules and goals. And the reason I want you to do this is not because I want you to follow the rules, right? But the rules are actually going to tell you a lot about the guild you're joining. If the rules are not very specific, you actually don't know what to expect out of them, but you can expect that the raid leader is going to be pretty indecisive about what he's doing. So you want concise things, and I want you to make up to yourself, what kind of guild do I want to be part of, right? So go read the rules and make sure that everything you're reading aligns with what you want to be part of. And it's very important you do the same as a guild leader does when they create something, is that you're very precise with what you want. So don't say, I want to be the best, because then you haven't set an expectation for yourself, right? And you do not know if a guild that you're joining is going to be the best until way into the game and you see a guild clear the raid first, and then maybe you can try and join that guild, but by that point they're already the best and they can choose whoever they want, right? So you need some kind of background to get into that guild to begin with. So I would say the best thing you can do is, personally, I'm gonna join a guild where there's a high focus on progressing. We're gonna give items to ever. Yeah, I'd say give items to whatever will boost the whole rate as a whole first. So it's not going to be much about somebody who hasn't gotten an item for the past 5 raids. That's not really important. We're all a collective. We work as a full group and not as individuals in a raid, and that's what that's what is important to me. Another thing that I personally would be looking for is a strong hierarchy that has been raiding before and knows the ins and out of raiding and stuff like that. I'm going to be doing PvE, of course. This almost turned into an application for myself, but I'm just trying to make some examples of what I will be looking for when I'm looking for a raid. A raiding guild. Yeah, I think that covered everything. So let's sum it up. Don't join a guild before the game is out. Be precise with what you want in a guild. Read the rules. Very important you read the rules. I want to state that again. And I think that's like the top 3 things. I'd say that's really good for you to do. Yeah. Yo, if you want to discuss this more, I can recommend just tagging me on Discord or write some comments below. I will be reading every single comment, but I probably will answer faster on the Corepunk Discord if you just tag me at Shievo. And thank you guys for watching. Hit up with a subscribe if you want. I can't promise weekly uploads. I upload whenever I have something to upload, and I upload for fun. I'm gonna say thank you for the 3rd time. Thank you guys for watching, and have a good morning, night, midday.